We've got spring training baseball for you this afternoon from Lecom Park. It's the Pirates and the Baltimore Orioles here from beautiful Bradenton. And the Pirates and their neighbors to the south will have an exhibition today. The folks are here to enjoy some baseball in the spring sunshine. And you're along here with us too. We're so glad you're here. Joe Block and John Wader with you. Robbie Ince-Mikowski joins us soon. And for the Pirates today, we're going to have a look at Todd Frazier, the 35-year-old, still playing some good baseball, trying to make this ball club. He'll be in the lineup today.
Looking forward to it. Every time I see Todd Frazier around the batting cage with the field, just looks like a fun guy to be around. And most importantly, he can still swing the bat. That was impressive. At 35, good bat speed, still able to turn around an inside fastball, still able to extend out over the plate and hit a fastball out of the ballpark. And at 35, could still play defense. 3-6-3 double play, made it look easy. Could still play both corners, still good with the glove.
And we're going to get to hear from him at first base and at the plate today, as he'll be mic'd up for us to start the ball game here in just a moment. And for Mitch Keller, he'll get the start for the Pirates today. And, of course, so important for the Pirates' success not only this season but beyond. But trying to build off of last season, maybe try to hone in that command a little bit. But he was just about unhittable. Our barrel forward league leaders, 132. That's what opponents hit off him, the lowest in baseball with anyone 5 starts or more.
What a difference a season makes. The rookie season didn't get off to a great start for him, but the adjustments he made and the promise he showed last year, unhittable, and unhittable literally in his last 2 starts. Again, the command may be a little bit of an issue, but he has certainly matured. He is that top prospect that we've been waiting for, and I'm looking for a good season from him.
And Keller and the battle in Bucks take on the Birds from Baltimore. Spring training baseball coming up right here on AT&T Sportsnet.
Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas, official legal partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. By Barrel Ford. With Barrel Ford Fast Pass, buy your next car online and on your terms. And by AHN, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Come on. All right, have a day, kid. You got it.
Pirates have been playing some good baseball down here, getting ready for the season. The Orioles trying to turn around their 2020 as well. It is gorgeous. It's been nicer in Pittsburgh too, so maybe we send some of that up from our way.
Here we go.
And here comes Todd Frazier and the Pirates. Todd, thanks for getting mic'd up today.
Thank you, man. Good to hear you. Hey, guys.
I'm Joe. That's John. And you're over at first base today. Anytime you want us to shut our yaps, you know, if you're batting or you want to chat with somebody over there, hopefully there'll be nobody at first base today. But.
Exactly. No, we'll be talking. I like to talk, so it calms me down a little bit, so it'll be good.
It doesn't seem like you ever stop, actually. Do you have bad days ever? I mean, you always seem so happy.
Ah, man, if I do, I try and hide it, man, because I like everybody to be happy, you know what I mean? Some days better than others, but you know, you just go about every day trying to find something positive each day, you know?
I like the flip-ups, too. We've been talking about those. I'm glad you're bringing them back.
Old school, baby. Old school. Had them since I first got up here. I'm not a big fan of wearing the glasses. I feel like get a little reflection off of them a little bit.
Yeah, perfect. You get to choose whatever you want. So your first base been going okay for you over there?
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. Pitcher's been doing well. Minimizing everybody over here. That's all that matters. Guys making the plays, and we go from there.
I always like to ask guys from the left side of the infield, third baseman in particular, everybody thinks you just put the old slow guy over there at first base, but how did you take the first base? How much different is first base than third base?
You're involved in everything. That's the biggest difference. Bigger glove, you're involved in every play, and that's that. And yeah, they got a point. I'm slower now, so might as well put me over there.
Wasn't suggesting that. Wasn't suggesting that, but just thinking. You ever get caught spectating? I mean, when you're over there at first base, base hit to the outfield, you're supposed to be the cutoff man. You just kind of watch the center fielder throw it in?
Sometimes. I'd be lying to you if I didn't. That's why this is a beautiful game. You get to see everything, so it's lovely. Hey, getting over here. Here we go.
Hearing the sounds of the game too from field level. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a. What's that? Oh, yeah, much better.
Anthony Sanders, the first base coach of the Orioles. Might be your only company today with Keller on the mound.
Beautiful.
What's he looking like from your vantage point?
Firm. We like that. We like guy throwing 95 plus. This guy here might bunt, probably not with one strike here. Uh-oh.
Now they're going to have some company. Cedric.
Yeah.
Going to go for 2 and get in there with a double to start.
All right, kid, so what? Get us the ground ball here.
Boy, he was flying. That was pretty impressive right there. Now, I assume, Todd, that you talk to just about everybody that reaches first base?
Without a doubt. Every once in a while you get the one serious guy and you're just like, all right, I can't wait for him to either get out or pick him off here. So, got to be ready here. I know Yelmer real well. He's going to try and roll one over so we can get the guy to third. Me and young Frazier over here, my son. We got to get ready.
I was going to think your little brother, but Adam Frazier, no relation. So having been in the game a while now, does that help? I mean, you said you've seen Sanchez play, right? Did you play with him in Chicago too?
Yeah, played with and against. You know, playing almost 10 years with 11 years up and down. And you get to know some players, you know. I know people like to put you in certain spots and play, but you got to go with your gut sometimes. And that's what I try and teach, you know, keep Brian Hayes over there at third. I said, listen, I know people try and tell you where to go, but at the same time, when you face guys more often, you got to go with your gut feeling. You can never go wrong with that. You know, Eric Gonzalez too as well. And it's fun. It's fun to be around these young guys.
So that card in your pocket, you may not pull it out. You already know what's on it.
Yeah, no, I don't have the card, so not yet, anyways. They do to give the card, but and that's another teaching point. You know, you do a little homework, 10 minutes a day, try to understand. There's all these percentages and stuff you can look at, and that's how you get a better feel for the game. You're not only good, you turn into a great player.
Let's see if Sanchez does try to move up that leadoff double. So the Orioles play for a run here.
There it is, almost. You got it? Yeah, you got to have that one. We got no ball boy or girl out there, so it's all good.
Yeah, tell your son to.
What's that? Oh, you got to, baby. I'm talking the whole time, man. First team all ball talk every year.
Todd Frazier mic'd up today. This is so fun.
Atta baby, get in there. Do it again. Come on, Kel.
First baseman talks to the pitcher. Does that happen, Rock?
All the time.
You do?
No matter where I'm playing. It keeps me in the game, keeps the guys. I've had a couple guys come to me and go, hey, man, you relax me a little bit. And, you know, I'll be that guy. I've been doing it ever since I was younger.
There's somebody behind you. Quite literally, right? For the pitcher.
Without a doubt.
Have you ever had any of the older, maybe more when you were younger, maybe the more experienced pitcher tell you to pipe down?
That's funny you bring that up. I did. I had a couple. Then I just talked to myself. So it's crazy. You know, it's one of those things where you want to keep their focus on one thing. You know, I know the runner out here. He's looking to go here maybe. I don't know with 2 strikes now, but spring training you never know. He's quick.
It's Mullins. He stole 7 last year.
Yeah. Atta boy. Good stop, Stalls.
Keeping Mullins there, yeah.
Hey, get nasty now. Best pitch of the day right here.
He spiked that curveball, held on to it a bit too long. But again, Stallings is good as anybody back there.
Come on, kid.
Tried it again that time.
Come on, man.
You getting to know everybody, Todd?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Some of the coaches, I'm trying to fight to remember their names, but other than that, I'm getting to know a bunch of people, man. It's a good organization, and you know, it's baseball in a nutshell, you know.
That's going to sneak through. And Mullins will score. Sanchez with the base hit and the RBI. Joining his old teammate over there at first. So the first two Orioles get aboard.
Boy, that's a heck of an at bat right there.
Yeah, it was. I see you, big dog. You got me mic'd up for 2 innings here, so be nice.
Joining Todd Frazier, the Honda defense out there, Adam Frazier's son, as he said.
Of course.
Gonzalez and Hayes in the infield. It's Reynolds, Alford, and Evans in the outfield, and of course Jacob Stallings behind the plate. Ryan Mountcastle got some power. All right, so now you got that hole open on the right side.
Yeah.
Check.
Love him. Yeah, so it's one of those things you got to bounce off quick here.
Watch.
How's the glare? We got some glare behind you over there. The silver bleachers.
It's not bad, really. It's more for the pop-ups here. They're used for.
Wind is blowing in steadily today.
Roll it. Come on, get it.
There's Ke'Bryan Hayes to start it.
That's what I'm talking about, kid. That boy.
And the Fraziers finish it off.
And Todd, I don't know how much you've seen Ke'Bryan Hayes play outside of practice and around here this spring, but I don't know. Did you get to see him at all much last year?
Man. I mean, he's one of those guys. Right now, actually, he gets to the plate. You're like, all right, he's hitting this ball hard somewhere. He's in the zone. Smooth as silk, you know.
As a former third baseman, Todd, you know, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody cover ground like Ke'Bryan Hayes over there. Hopefully you get to see a bunch of it, and but man, he's like a shortstop over there. It's pretty incredible what he did last year.
It's impressive. He's you don't see many third basemen with footwork like him. I mean, he's taking extra ground balls with days. I'm like, God Almighty, I wish I could still do that. He told me yesterday he's got just one purpose: to go hard every day, and you know, that's as a coach or a teammate or anything else. Yeah, that's what you look for in a guy, man, because it's going to be something special. You can see it.
And as you know, when you watch him, he doesn't get bad hops over there. You talk about good feet. You know that ball gets on you a lot. I mean, his feet are so good. I don't ever see him get caught in between.
No, and that's the biggest thing as a third baseman, getting that good hop. Ah, there it is again. Money right there. That a baby. All right, boys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Todd. Todd Frazier. That is super fun. Yeah, the Pirates get out of it with just a single tally for Baltimore. Well, that is the great Charlie Hayes talking some ball before the game. That's Ke'Bryan's dad, longtime big league third baseman. You talk about good third baseman. And he's not going to be working coaching the Phillies this year. He's going to. He was working in the Gulf Coast League and the minor leagues before. He's going to be following around Ke'Bryan this year. And why not? Here's the Bucks lineup today. Adam Frazier will start, and then Hayes. Brian Reynolds hits third. Todd Frazier cleans up. Evans and Stallings, Gonzalez, Alford, and Susak, the DH today in this spring training game.
Here you go, kid. I don't know about that.
And Adam Frazier facing Felix Hernandez, who will get the nod today. The longtime Mariner trying to hook on with the O's.
Hey, now we battle, kid.
And that's the voice of Todd Frazier you're hearing.
19, not a great year for the King. 6.40 ERA.
Last year with Atlanta, and then opted out as the season was to begin in July.
Lock it up.
So Todd is due up fourth this inning. Let's get a man on so he can come up.
Let's go, baby. I agree. Get a couple on there.
Hear what it's like. He's up on the top step right now.
Oh, he's still listening. You gonna be listening while you're up there?
Without a doubt. That's a good swing there. Take that. But we call that good swinging, bad
Urias catches the liner. All right, Todd, you said that Ke'Bryan Hayes is good at the plate too. What do you like about him? How does he hit all those line drives? What's making him good?
The way his swing, his bat angle. He's coming down on the ball. He's not trying to come up too much, and he's hitting the ball where it's pitched, and that's a beautiful thing, like we talk about.
Have you ever faced? I'm assuming you faced Hernandez
Yes.
a number of times.
I got a couple homers off. You never forget the home runs.
I was wondering if you knew. I had to look it up today.
No, you never forget the home runs.
Hanging up there in that. Whoa, that's why you stay with it, and Hayes ends up at second base.
Come on, Brian.
Yep. Never automatic in Florida this time of year.
That's got to be one of the worst feelings right there. Oh, God.
Oh,
Especially in the first
terrible.
inning. You don't want
Sun didn't even look like it was out.
No, especially in the first inning. You don't want the ball hit to you ever again after that. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, that's right. You've got a few games in the outfield. You played some outfield.
Yeah,
Huh?
I got one assist out there. I threw a guy out at home one time, and I used to be super utility back in the day.
Nice.
Coming up with the Reds now. Saw you play at Billings years back. I was calling games in Great Falls.
Oh, yeah.
So it's fun to see you're still after it and still doing great.
So you made your way up too. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, yeah, at Old Cobb Field there in
yeah.
Billings, Montana. But what I've enjoyed hearing what you said, Todd, is how you've really embraced. I mean, you can help this team on the field, of course, but you can also help with other things too. And why have you taken to that so much? To be a mentor and a voice and.
I enjoy it. I mean, I've been pretty much a leader all the way up from, high school on, and I love helping people. I love being around the game, and this is a great opportunity for me to be a part of, the upcoming of the Pirates here. It's something special. They're going to have something going here in the next couple of years for sure. All right, let's slow the pace down and let's get after it.
So what are we looking for as you?
What's up, baby?
As you're walking up here, what are you looking for off a guy like Hernandez?
He's not overpowering anymore.
Without tipping off the catcher you're right next to.
He's not overpowering anymore. What's up, baby? Something slow. Maybe an off-speed pitch first. He looks like he's topping 85, so slow your pace down and think other way, and you get after it.
Oh, you talking about yourself.
Well, what's up, Bob? I'm mic'd up right now. I did it for you, baby. You can tell me what's coming. I won't be mad. Too sorry. Here we go. There's one. All right, start off with the slow guy with a base open. We'll see what's next here. Maybe try to come with the heat and react to the other one.
Look up.
Got to see it up. Another slow guy.
Would that be something you typically want to do if you got a guy that's not throwing so hard?
Yeah, you want
zone him up,
just
try to get him up above the thighs.
Basically, slow your feet down. For me, if my feet are slowed, my hands will work. If I get too ahead of myself with my feet, I'm in trouble. A little two-seamer.
Mad at yourself?
No, wasn't looking there. I was looking out over. A little two-seamer.
Okay.
I got more time. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Frazier hits it into the corner.
Slow it down, baby. That's it. Mine was slow.
A double for Todd Frazier.
Hey, man.
That's beautiful.
You have more time than you think when the guy's throwing slower, so let the hands work. Oh, I'm not getting off with you guys now. This is money. We might be in here all day.
That's beautiful. Now he throws the two-seamer in her half, so you looking back away soft?
I was thinking heater away, but when you're sitting slow at 85, it's easier to see a slower pitch as well. You kind of sit in between. If you're throwing,
He's still feeling pretty.
go ahead. No, if he's throwing, curveballs around 77, you sit somewhere in between 85 and 77 with your feet, and you can hit that fastball to right field or react just like that, baby. Oh, Phil.
You're still feeling pretty quick. I mean, you hit the home run the other day, fastball just about belt inside corner.
Yeah.
I think 92, 93. Got to it easy. You still feel pretty quick in there?
I got to stay on the heater all day, every day, because that's what I hit the best. You work on that in practice, the off-speed stuff, but in the game, stick with what you know best. What's up, big daddy? All right. It's good. No ball boy. I get a breather.
Have you ever hit a double while you were mic'd up before?
No, it's a first. I told you all day.
I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to mess you up.
Listen, I felt comfortable as anybody. Felt like Mike Trout up there, to be honest with you. You guys are the best. Down.
Todd with the RBI double to bring in Hayes. Now let's get Evans to bring you around. I want to hear what it sounds like to score from second.
Sound like a cow in heat or something. I'm gonna be in trouble, man. You're gonna hear me huffing and puffing. Oh, they had me there. They had a pick off there. Hey, Yelmer.
Trying to bring in Frazier.
That's not cool. I would do that to you next time. That's not cool. No, that's nothing. You'll get a phone call later. Yeah,
He tried to sneak in behind you.
They definitely had me there. I was just going to keep going to third. My momentum. It's outside.
Can you see anything as a runner from second base on the for the pitcher for the next time you come up?
Felix has been around a while. He's tough to pick up anything, so I don't even dare try. It's right now you're seeing what the catchers are putting down. Sometimes it can be simple as first sign or last sign. It just depends. It's got to go. Nope.
Todd Frazier with the RBI double.
Thanks, brother.
And the entertainment mic'd up here in the first inning.
How about a Todd Frazier double while being interviewed? It's 1-1 in Lecom Park in Florida. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. Todd Frazier answering a bevy of questions live. He answered one on tape earlier, and that was talking about the Bucco third baseman, Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Yeah, he's a stud. He goes about his business the right way so far. He's got a swagger to him that's really not cocky about it. It's something that, guys can build off of and learn from. He's a kid. Just watch him take ground balls. He's very smooth. And I can't wait to, I've been picking his brain a little bit as we go, just talking baseball and shop and all that kind of stuff. But I can't wait to see how he transpires during the year.
Joe and Rock, would be pretty interesting to get Todd's opinion on would be, outside of Ke'Bryan Hayes' talent, what about his work ethic and the day-to-day stuff makes him such an outstanding third baseman?
Yeah.
Well, let's ask Todd.
Yeah.
Did you hear Robbie there?
Yes, I did.
What do you think, Todd?
Sorry, I zoned in on a pitch there. Yeah, no, he just, like I said, it kind of reminds me of myself a little bit, but he's actually better and actually, way ahead of the curve. Especially coming in last year on a 60-game season, coming in for, 20-something games or whatever it was. God almighty, I just wish everybody had the approach and attitude he does. He goes about it the right way. He doesn't say boo. If you come up to him, he'll talk to you. He's not trying to step on anybody's toes. And I'm telling you right now, this kid, sky's the limit if you want the truth. Strike three. See ya. Let's go. Got one. One.
Keller with a strikeout. Todd, you don't ever have to apologize for concentrating on the game rather than talking to us. We're so grateful that you've come on.
No doubt.
I got to know, you broke out the knuckleball last year. Where did you learn to throw a knuckleball?
Just messing around. I had an all-star coach when I was 14, John Florio. He had a nasty one. He was my head coach in the all-star I used to throw with all 5 fingers because I didn't have the biggest hands yet. And he said, just keep trying with 2 fingers. And, you know, some days it's good, some days it's bad. But I had the wind, when the wind's blowing out your face, oh, the thing is going to dance. I call it the dancing bear. It's going to dance, and I'm going to have a good action on it. And I actually got a strikeout on, who was it, with the Braves last year. It was pretty cool. Now I go down the record books, have the best ERA ever in baseball history throwing an inning. So hopefully I don't throw anymore. That's a bucket lister for me, no more. Come on, get it up now.
Was that something that a pitch you worked on every day in case you ever got that inning?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. I always mess around the last 5 or 6, throw to some guys, and you know, most of the time they're not too good. And sometimes you get a lucky break. That's why I kept throwing it. I threw 2 over the guy's head too, which maybe scared him a little bit. Atta baby. Do it again. Oh, you guys are watching me pitch, and look at that. Soft 58, firm 58.
Oh, yes.
I had a good arsenal there. I had a fastball, cutter, and knuckleball. And
Adam Duvall.
Adam Duvall, yeah.
One of the best home run hitters last year. Well, that's not bad.
No freebies now. Let's go.
Oh, so you guys never crossed paths then? You didn't. He wasn't with the Reds when you were there then.
I'm
right?
not. No, I think we had maybe half a season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's with the same agency I was with too, so I knew him pretty well. Oh, stick it foul.
Out to Evans and right.
No room, that's out.
The wind will take it.
It's good in spring training. You don't even have to yell and they can hear you. What's up, guys? How we doing, all right? Yeah. I got you a little love. I got you.
How weird was it for you last year, no fans?
Yeah, it was different. You got used to it, but it's just one of those things where the crowd noises, every stadium was different. And, you know, one was louder than the other. Some were you couldn't hear, but, you know, that's why I talk. The more I talk, the more I feel like I'm into it, and I got more opportunities to bring my emotions and enthusiasm. Hi, you all right? Hey, ground ball, we got 2. Come on, Kel.
Okay, this is Ramon coming your way.
I don't know Ramon. I don't know if he speaks. If he don't speak English, I'm in trouble. Let me see if I can get a little Spanish. ¿Cómo está? Sí, está bien, tranquilo. ¿Tú hablas inglés, no? Ah, beautiful. It makes it easier for me. Buena suerte, Bobby. Oh, that's a big lead. Uh-oh. Yeah!
He's going to take off. Stallings. Safe.
Good try, Stoll. It's like a wall back there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just a little. If it gets it to the right-hand side of the bag, he gets him. The ball would have beat him, but just a little bit to the left field side, and that's the only reason he made it in there.
I call for a little phrase out for that one. He needs to stay on the bag there a little further, so he doesn't have that far he needs to go. I'm gonna yell at him and I got one to get in there. No. I always stay on Frazier, man. He's such a good player. I mean, everybody talks about struggles last year, but every time we face a guy like him, it's like, God, this is a guy we have to get out. If we don't get him out and he's on the base pass, it's going to be trouble for us today. And, you know, it's just one of those things where my sophomore year, too, was that his second year last year or maybe not? No, he's been around too long. But I remember my sophomore year, I struggled mightily. And I remember Dusty Baker telling me, listen, you know, we're looking at a new third baseman, you better pick it up. And that's when you look yourself in the mirror. And I went 10 for my next 20, and the rest was history. But, you know, it's stories like that in baseball where guys like, oh, man, you've had such success in your career. But, listen, I had some times where in 2013, 14, where it's like I might not be playing baseball ever again because I was struggling. So adversity, babe, causes some to break, others to break records. So what are you going to do with it?
Well, this is great perspective, I'm sure, for your teammates, too, because they haven't gone through this stuff yet.
No.
And I would think coming from a player when they hear that versus a coach, it means more.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I had some really good ones, Scott Rowland, Johnny Gomes, and Ryan Ludwig, to name a few. Here you go. Now finish it, 2-3. Come on, baby. Hey, you got one still. You and me.
Bring up 13. Gotta ask you about the wild card game.
Oh man, you guys are bad. Yeah, that brings back some bad memories. I remember Francisco Liriano was, right up, baby, go up top here, sneaking the cheese. That a boy, 2. So 2. So we were having a debacle whether to start Johnny Cueto because I think he was just coming back off injury. Hey, getting over here now, and. Who's the tall right-hander we had? I'm just drawing a blank right now. Matt Latos. And so we went with, Latos was supposed to be the guy. We went with Cueto just because he's been proven. Matt was proven too, but he was our guy. He was our number 1. And, he pitched okay. It's that one inning that, he gave up the back-to-back homers to Marlon Byrd and the catcher. Forget his name, the Canadian. Who was catching at that time? Martin, yes. I love him. Me and him would always bicker to each other. But yeah, and I tell everybody this day, it was probably one of the loudest atmospheres I've ever been a part of. And it's like a European soccer match. It was crazy. That up, baby. Slow him down and speed him up here. And then, yeah, he dropped that ball, man. That didn't help. That was unbelievable. Who did Francisco start that game?
Just when you think you've seen everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was the starter. His slider, I just could never pick up. But when he threw me the one fastball, if it was anywhere near the plate, I would crush it. But if he threw me 10 sliders into the bat, shoot, I'm swinging at probably 9 out of 10. He was filthy.
Yeah, that was kind of remarkable about him is that, the slider and the changeup. You guys knew he had it. You knew he threw it a bunch, and yet nobody could lay off.
Isn't that crazy? Pete Rose told me one time, he goes, guys, this is Pete Rose in a nutshell. He's like, you've seen this guy 10, 15 times already. I mean, it should be easy to hit. I'm like, Pete, listen, not everybody had the eye like you and can hit like you, man. He's like, come on, Frazier. So we'd have some good banter with him. Hey, now. Oh, damn. Darn, excuse me. Good pitch, Keller. See, this is adversity right here. What's he going to do? This is why
98.
I'd like to see with a pitcher here, especially in spring training. Maybe strike, maybe ball. What do you guys got that one? You see it on the tracker or no? You guys got a tracker up there to see or no?
No.
All right, well.
We're watching you. All eyes on you.
Okay. Atta boy, come on.
No, we don't have the tracks during
or square in there,
the strike zone during spring training.
That's great.
You know what I do, and it was right there
of course.
On the edge. So
could
have gone either way.
I need
and it did.
I need you guys on those pitches this year. Kind of be like Hawk Harrelson for me and be like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And we need some energy from you guys this year too as well.
We'll bring it.
Hawk was one of my favorites.
And we're feeding off you today too, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, no, what a guy. He was great.
Oh.
He was great. You never didn't know where he stood.
Exactly. Yeah. He was one of the best. It was funny because him and my son were driving home on the bus after the game. We lost 10-0. Hawk is just yelling. I'm like, Hawk. And my son's sitting next to him, and he knew everything. He's like, Hawk, can I tell you what you say on TV? And he screamed it on the bus when everybody's pissed. Get foul. And he's like, you can put it on the board. And my son with his 4-year-old voice. And Hawk's like, oh, boy, that's awesome. And everybody's looking back at me. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Kid's having fun, but fun-loving guy, man.
Well, that's what this is all about, right? I mean, we all love to be around the game. Some of us could never play it. Some of us are great at it. And you're down there, and we're up here.
Endless opportunities and friendships, and that's why I don't want to stop playing this game until they kick me out. Endless opportunities and friendships.
Well, by the looks of it, this spring, there's plenty more there.
I got it. Oh, boy.
And
finish it up.
Very fitting that Todd will wrap it up. Todd, thanks for joining us here in this game. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks, Todd.
Great. Thank you.
That was really fun. Todd Frazier gave us a little bit of everything, a lot of insight on what was happening down on the field. And a 1-1 as Todd Frazier's RBI double. The equalizer. Thanks again to Todd for being on here with us today. That was really, really fun. Really fun. I mean, for me, I know you've been down on that field many, many times, of course, Rock, but for guys like us that never have gotten that opportunity, it's so neat to just even hear what's going on, or some of the chatter, and of course all of his intellect on what's he's seeing.
Yeah, I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
Not everybody is that talkative. He probably said more in that inning and a half than I have in the game, at least out on the field. But yeah, it's he seems like the perfect guy. Veteran presence, totally positive, encouraging, obviously very knowledgeable, experienced. So yeah, that's a great guy to have around. And
it's not gratuitous. I mean, he could play. We saw that with the double. Mic'd up, hit a double, telling us what he wanted to do. Facing Felix Hernandez, that was great. And Hernandez strikes out Stallings to start the second inning. So 1 out. Leadoff man gone here in the Pirates' second inning. Pirates Charities has partnered with PNC Bank and the Grable Foundation to recognize all-star teachers in the area. You can nominate a teacher that you know who makes an impact in the classroom and beyond. And winners will receive a $1,000 grant for classroom needs and much more. So go to pirates.com/all-star teachers. Bravo to all our teachers for all their hard work. Here's Eric Gonzalez, who has played a lot lately. With Cole Tucker been on the mend for a while. That's an infield hit.
Yeah, we'll take that one. A little swinging bunt.
Gonzalez hitting over 500 this spring.
Number 6, Anthony Alford.
And Newman's going to be out a few more days, it sounds like, after taking it easy. Making sure to keep that hamstring okay.
Two-seam fastball just doesn't get there like it used to. The velocity not there, so a little bit off the end of the bat, but placed perfectly.
Yeah, I would imagine, and Todd was helping us out with it a little bit, but there aren't too many guys that you face these days that are throwing like what Felix Hernandez is throwing in the mid-80s.
Yeah, I mean,
not even Kyle Hendricks or anybody.
Yeah, it's actually a tough at bat. I mean, I'll tell you, I bet a lot of these guys would tell you they'd rather face somebody throwing 95. It's what they're used to seeing. The ball just doesn't get there.
Alford might disagree with you. And there she goes. A home run for Anthony Alford. His second of the spring. And the Pirates have the lead, 3-1. That's some power right there.
He continues to show us, why Ben Cherington and the Pirates like this guy. I mean, obviously hasn't had much of an opportunity at the major league level, but yeah, that's incredible pop. I mean, there's no wind helping. That, in fact, is probably a little into the breeze, the opposite way, and well out of here.
His first home run earlier this spring was to dead center. And Alford, all he's asking for is some playing time. And the way that he's hit and playing center, the more that looks that he gets, maybe he will be the center fielder for the Pirates. Still very much open to competition.
And that's a great approach against a guy like Hernandez. It's not throwing it very hard. I mean, it looked like a center cut fastball, but if you're up there trying to pull him, you might roll that over. You go up there and you think middle to the opposite gap, you're right on it.
Now that makes sense. And he was on it. That will certainly open some eyes. Susac hit by pitch. Now the Pirates have tried to bring in some really athletic players. Alford was with the Blue Jays, and the Pirates actually picked him up last year. He had the broken elbow that ended his cameo with the Pirates in that 2020 season. Trying to make a catch out there at center. Otherwise, he would have probably played every day in center the rest of last season for about a month or so.
There aren't many players in baseball with that kind of power. As you see the competition for center, got the veteran Goodwin, who the most experience, had 17 home runs for Anaheim a few years ago. Dustin Fowler, the other candidate, entire year in AAA Las Vegas in 19, his last extended experience.
Good play by Valleca to get one out of that deal. That's the second out of the inning. Yeah, I mean, they've got some athletic guys out there in center field who have had, you know, glimpses of success. Can they put it together? In Alford's case, he's never really gotten big league playing time.
Yep, and boy, yeah, that's some last year and impressed. Getting some this year and impressing. But all these guys, you think of center fielders, you're thinking of speed and stolen bases and on base percentage. But all three of those guys have power, legit power. I mean, Alford, there's just not many guys that can hit a ball that far the opposite way, right-handed or left-handed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rare talent.
I think of Paul Goldschmidt when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, that ball took off.
You think about, you know, what he's achieved in this game. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes with 2 outs.
And like I mentioned, Goodwin with 17 homers in a season in the major leagues. Fowler had 25 in AAA a couple of years ago. So all these guys not only capable of chasing balls down and covering ground in center field, but capable of hitting the ball at the ballpark.
Hayes taps to Sanchez for the final out. Pirates get a couple more. Anthony Alford hit it 109 miles an hour the opposite way for a 2-run homer.
Spring Training Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Bradenton, Anna Maria Island, Longboat Key, real, authentic, Florida, and by Sheely's Furniture, Appliances, Mattresses. The best things in life happen at home. Let's go Bucks!
Mitch Keller back out for the 3rd inning. Mitch Keller aided by that home run. Anthony Alford, 2-run shot out to right center. And Keller with a couple of strikeouts in that 2nd inning. Hopefully realizing everything for Alford. Sometimes spring training can be that magical time. He's only 26. I think that's gets lost because he's been a prospect for so many years. Played football, college football too. Keller's 2nd walk to Jahmai Jones. Turned the lineup over for Cedric Mullins, who doubled and scored the Orioles run. And I think that's going to be it. Yeah, he wanted 3 ups, so to speak, or 50 pitches today. So right about there. And Keller, who pitched in the backfields his last time. Shelty's going to come get him 2+ for Mitch today. Got there 96, 97. Arm looks good. And his day is through for the 9 men he faced. Still 3-1.
Well, there you see left-hander Chasen Shreve entering the ballgame for the Buccos. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada, same city as Tyler Anderson. And look at those guys as Little League teammates, the 2 of them. That's Chasen Shreve on the right. Tyler Anderson is top left in that photo. Their 2 dads coached together while the 2 of them played travel baseball as youths. As you see in the photo, they go back way back together as youths. And they're also living together this spring training in Bradenton. Shreve went to Bonanza High School in Las Vegas, the same high school as Chris Bryant. Anderson went to Spring Valley, same as Hall of Famer Greg Maddox, also Doug Mirabelli and Mike Morgan, 2 former big leaguers. Now, Anderson said they were going to get a picture of them together in Pirates uniforms to send to their families. So Joe and Rock, like we saw the last couple of years with Joe Musgrove and Stephen Brault, who were high school teammates from San Diego. It's very, very rare to see two youth baseball players playing together, and then again, not only in the big leagues, but on the same team, like Chase and Shreve and Tyler Anderson are here in 2021 in Pittsburgh.
That's neat. Vegas, definitely a baseball hotbed, has become one.
It's pretty amazing. I just can't even imagine that. And we just saw it a year ago with Brault and Musgrove, going to the same high school.
I mean, they were in the same limo for prom. And they end up pitching in a big league rotation together. Look at Alford. What can't he do? Anthony Alford laying out and bringing it in.
Just out racing it. The wind was pushing it away from Alford, and it just kept tailing and tailing and tailing, and you wondered if he was going to be able to get over there and get to it. And not only to get to it, my goodness, watch how far he has to go, and watch this ball take off. It just keeps blowing away from him, blowing away from him. Perfectly timed dive. That's a heck of a play.
And of course, the applause. That was a heck of a play. He just hit a 2-run opposite field home run and makes that catch. I mean, he was shaded over a bit toward right center, just a couple steps, but he had to go a long way. I mean, if this was a showcase game right now, he'd be the first overall pick.
Yeah, no doubt.
Had to go 106 feet, according to StatCast. No, this has been a good game to kind of see what the Pirates are hoping that Alford can do. Just giving him some opportunity. Never really was able to play. Out to left, and a base hit for Yolmer Sanchez. Two aboard with one out.
Ryan Mountcastle.
I already missed Todd.
I feel like it was something's missing. Todd Frazier joined us the first 3 half innings. It was great. I don't know if we mic up players once in a while, and some are more game for it than others. Some are a little reluctant. Naturally so. I mean, it takes a lot to concentrate on playing baseball, even in a spring training game. Hit hard past Hayes. Mountcastle will bring in a run, and Sanchez will be waived. He's going to come in and score as well. It's a 2-run double, and the O's have tied it. A little soft single, and then a double right down the line.
Yeah, not many balls getting by Ke'Bryan Hayes over there at third. You got to hit it hard, and this ball from a big man hit it extremely hard. And Hayes diving to his right just got by him. Just hit too hard.
Work on him from time to time.
So Mountcastle debuted last year, showing a lot of promise. Great numbers in the minor leagues. He'll be one of the middle of the order hitters for the Orioles this year. Pedro Severino. Yeah, StatCast said that was hit at 106.
Yeah.
Scalded.
How about that? Yeah.
And one of those runs charged to Keller, so 2 runs and 2+ for Mitch. Deuce is wild on that pitching line today. Now Shreve trying to make the ball club. He's a non-roster player, but plenty of experience. Really has become a new pitcher the last year or so when he pitched for the Mets last year.
Yeah, you'd have to think he has a leg up, even though he's not on the roster, just by looking at what he's done last year in particular. Great numbers.
Getting the swing and miss on that fastball. Yeah, that splitter that he features is last year it was one of the best pitches in terms of swing and miss on any pitch that anybody threw in baseball. And the Pirates, undoubtedly, the analytics department picking up informatics, picking up on that. And when he was still out there, I mean, he didn't sign until February 7th. So, all right, we'll bring him in. Good time strikeouts last year. It was great against lefties. When you think about all those things, that's what you want. So the whiff percentage on any non-fastball, any off-speed. Okay, these are off-speed pitches. So Devin Williams, the rookie of the year, and then Shreve was number 2 whiff percentage. So anytime you swing, do you make contact or not? Do you swing through it? And more than half the time they would swing through a pitch. That splitter. Gonzalez takes care of Severino for the second out. Castle to third. And that's usually good enough. I mean, if you're throwing 92, that's fine, because it's gonna kind of mess him up, right, with the splitter.
Yeah, 92 will play. Obviously, you got to locate it and have a good secondary pitch, at least one good secondary pitch.
Starts Vallejo with the fastball. Now, last year for Shreve, gave up 2 hits to lefties. They were both home runs, but 2 hits in 32 at bats. It was good against righties too. Out to deep left, and it'll hit the foot of the wall. Mountcastle in easily. It's a double for Pat Vallejo. The O's have taken back the lead.
And you wonder, I wonder if that was the split right there. Take a look. Yep.
Kind of hung up there.
Yep, just kind of didn't have a whole lot of movement to it. Just kind of stayed in the middle, a little bit off the end of the bat. This may sound silly, but I think about, you know, it's not like a knuckleball, but I see a little breeze blowing in. I wonder if you get less movement if you got wind behind you than if you had wind in your face. You know, a little more resistance when the wind's blowing out.
Because that's a pitch you're trying to take spin off of, right? So,
I mean,
you know.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Just.
No, I think that makes sense. I think that definitely could be the case. A little breeze today. Not as much gale force winds as you know that we see sometimes down here, but yeah, 9 miles an hour, probably gusting to 15 if I would guess, but typically it's about double that. A lot of days here, enough to affect the ball, but not a big thing. But it is blowing from the outfield in, behind the pitcher toward home plate.
I'm sure a knuckleball pitcher would tell you that, you know, conditions play a part and how much that pitch will dance.
Oh yeah, we had a knuckleball pitcher on with us earlier. Todd Frazier joined us the first inning and a half. He and Eric Kratz were the only 2 pitchers to throw a knuckleball in baseball last year.
No kidding.
And they're position players, so that shows you where the knuckleball has gone, at least for now.
I meant to ask him, did he throw all knuckleballs?
I don't know.
Because you would think as a position player, you just want to see how hard you can throw, because you never see how hard you can throw, and you get one chance to throw a fastball in a major league game. You think you'd want to air one out.
It was like a lot of times they tell you to be conservative. As Urias connects. The Orioles scoring up Shreve here in this 3rd inning. Up 5-3 now. Jose Osuna, remember him? He had a 93 on the gun. His first pitching appearance.
Went upstairs with a fastball up out over the plate, and Tommy Hawk hit hard in the left.
And Diaz can't connect. So 4 of the 6 Orioles with hits this time against Shreve. On in relief of Mitch Keller. I like those socks that Shreve is sporting. Scott Bonnet, the Pirates clubhouse manager, issuing those last few years. Those have been really sharp. I love that when the guys and the shoes and the laces, that's a really nice sock and shoe game right there from Shreve. And a good throw. Can't stand the glove of Frazier, though. Stolen base for Urias.
Yeah, a little short from Jacob Stallings. Strong, accurate, but just a little short. And as the second baseman, Frazier, got it down, up, back down, trying to be quick with the tag and just didn't secure it.
Now 1-2 on the former Dodger prospect Diaz, who came over in the Manny Machado deal a few years back. And he struck him out. But the Orioles pick up 4 in the inning. Great play and a great day for Anthony Alford out in center field. And that diving catch. Orioles now have a 5-3 lead. I want to invite you to check out Buck's Flex Plans. They come with ticket insurance, assurance. That means your investment is guaranteed. Ticket assurance. It gives you the ultimate flexibility to use your tickets however and whenever you want. $199 gets you 10 ticket vouchers. Secure tickets to all the games you want, like all the great summer matchups planned for 2021. Go to pirates.com/flex. Felix on the mound for the O's, beginning his 3rd inning. And Brian Reynolds will get a second look at the King. King Felix, one of the better nicknames in recent baseball times. Remember the King's Court in Seattle that they had, the fan section?
Oh, yeah.
For a time, he was one of the greats. Base hit for Brian Reynolds. Solidly struck to lead off the 3rd.
I was just thinking, I can't wait to start seeing that Reynolds swing come back and just see everything on time and the line drives and the gap shots. And that's pretty close to what we saw a whole bunch of in his rookie season in 19. Just right on time, barrel it up, hit it hard somewhere.
Yeah, when the calendar turned to September that rookie year, he was right there and yanked that foul. Brian was right there for the batting title in the National League. No rookie still has ever in the National League won the batting title, leading in batting average. Well, let's see what Todd could do without us talking to him.
I think he went up there after he hit that curveball for a double. He thought, well, I'm going to get a fastball, so I'm going to get ready and turn on it. Just a little too quick.
That's an 80. Well, Todd was mic'd up earlier. He told us he's hunting fastball, which from Felix Hernandez around 86 today. Over his head. Breaking ball that didn't break. Let's. I'm just going to yell at Todd. Hey, Todd. He could hear us if we. Whee! Just get that bat out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing I looked for. To see if he dropped the bat so the ball wouldn't hit the bat behind him.
Now 2-2. Eyes get big.
Not something you see very often.
Frazier knew before we even asked that he's hit a couple of home runs in his career off Felix Hernandez. This time on to short. Urias will secure the first out.
You got to wonder. I mean, he's hit over 200 career homers. Do you remember each one? I mean, each pitcher you've hit it off of. I wonder. That would have been a good question for him. You think you'd have to forget some?
Oh, sure. But I bet you if you said, okay, maybe he hit a home run off Chuck James, or I guess he pitched before Frazier. I'm trying to think of somebody obscure, didn't have a long major league career, for instance. I bet you if you tell him the name, he'll go, oh, now, and then he remembers the scenario. I don't think he could name the 150 guys or whatever.
I think it would be impossible.
Yeah.
He couldn't remember the guy he struck out last year.
That's a good point. So you're saying he's forgetful.
He was a former teammate.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be forgetful. Todd says he's not great with names. So I offered, this is over Zoom, I offered Todd Frazier's favorite player was Paul O'Neill. And I said, the big tall guy, when you see him, his name is O'Neill, named after Paul O'Neill. So you got one name in the books, and he thanked me for that. So hopefully he's been able to call Cruz by the right name. Here's Phillip Evans. On to second. Reynolds will stay put.
But I'm sure he remembers all the great pitchers he's hit home runs with. I'm sure that's why he remembers.
Yeah.
Felix at one point, or Hernandez was one of the best in the game for a period of time.
Yeah, so you tag him and you say, okay, yeah, I got him. I remember that. Stash that away. There's probably a lot of guys he never even knew the name of the pitcher. September call-up.
Yeah.
I mean, you start hitting that many, and they kind of run together. And that's a good thing. That's what you're hoping for when you start your career. Some of them run together. There's Todd. He joined us earlier. That was gold, I think, is the word he used. He's going to be really good for this team. Two and two on Phillip Evans, also trying to make the ball club. Reynolds takes third. And a nifty play by Wilkerson. I like Reynolds trying to get to third with one out, trying to steal a base. Tarek Brock, we talked with him last week specifically about Reynolds, who he thinks could be even a 20 stolen base guy. If he just picks his spots and is thinking more aggressively.
Yeah, in this day and age, it's so hard to steal bases. It's not just because there's a lack of speed. I think pitchers do such a good job of holding runners on. They get the ball to their catcher quicker. But yeah, there still are opportunities, and if you can get guys with that speed to think of getting the bases when they're available and always being ready, yeah, I think
there's T. Brock.
You can get more. See that part of the game improve. There are certain teams that just won't steal, period. Speed or not. They just don't believe in it anymore. But I do think especially if you don't have this big power-laden team that's going to hit 300 home runs in a year, you got to create.
The Royals have gone that way. They've actually sought out speed. Now the Pirates are not going to be that team, but there's going to be an opportunity once a week for Brian Reynolds to think of trying to steal. Jacob Stallings with the 2-out RBI single. The Pirates get one back. Right through the box.
Yep, it's a breaking ball. Outside corner, a little bit up. Finds the hole.
And that good play by Wilkerson.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.
And so Stallings has unseated the king. Hernandez done. Having a fist bump for Joey Cora. Orioles have the lead cut to 1 now in the third inning. Now let's take a look at our AHN injury update. Kevin Newman left the game Sunday with left hamstring tightness, and just as a precaution, swinging a real good bat this spring. He's still out for the time being, but not feeling any discomfort whatsoever. So still doing a few baseball activities. They're just going to take everything very slowly in spring training. Why not? Make sure to get out of there. But meanwhile, Eric Gonzalez has gotten a lot more of the reps at short in the spring, and he has also hit very well. That's a good problem to have when you got two guys that are really hitting and looking good in the field when you have a position competition. This time on to Urias. And that'll end it. So Knight comes on. Pirates get a run on this Stallings hit. Fourth inning coming up. Really fun ball game today. A lot of scoring, some good defensive work for both clubs. 5-4 Orioles. And they're going over the game plan. Will Crowe coming on as the Pirates' third pitcher today, taking over for Chasen Shreve. Mitch Keller started today for the Pirates. Our Shealy's numbers on Crowe. And let's go to Robbie, who's got Mitch Keller.
We are pleased to be joined by the Buccos starter, Mitch Keller. And Mitch, first of all, you threw the 48 pitches in the 3 innings this afternoon. How would you say you feel coming out of the outing?
I feel really good, especially going 2 innings my last sim game, and then getting that third up there felt good. Just main thing is getting that third up and then getting pitches in and getting ready for more load throughout the season.
Mitch, can you give us a little bit of insight of what it's like in terms of the buildup? Your first outing, you throw 1 inning, then 2 in a sim game, 3 today. What is that process like, and how do you go progressing your innings from outing to outing?
Yeah, the main thing is just building up pitches and that workload of in between innings, sitting down and then revving yourself back up again and getting used to that and using that for the season and preparing to go 5, 6, 7, 8 innings or whatever it may be. But we're just using this time to build ourselves up to be able to perform.
You know, Mitch, one thing you said at the outset of spring training is you don't feel pressure like you have to make the roster. You feel like you kind of have a spot and can prepare yourself to start at the big league club. How much of a difference does that make for you mentally?
I'm still trying to act like I need to perform out there, but it's cool to see all the young guys that we have and have confidence around them and just go out there and do my thing and not have to worry about other outside noises or anything like that. Just trying to focus on what I can do and going out there and getting myself ready for the season.
Year 2 with Oscar Marine as your pitching coach, Derek Shelton as your manager. How have things progressed working with those 2 guys?
Oh, they're awesome. We're having a good time. We're keeping spring training fun, and I think it's showing up on the field where everyone's pretty much playing pretty well. And even if you don't, then we're there. Oscar and Shelty are right there to, pick us up and move forward and not to think about it and keep going.
You know, Mitch, when you look at this rotation, you got a guy like Tyler Anderson who's been around for a couple of years, and then you got Stephen Brault, been around a couple of years, but then it's you, Brubaker, Chad Kuhl coming off the Tommy John surgery 2 seasons ago. How do you describe the excitement the young guys have to be a part of this future?
Yeah, I think we're all ready to roll. All of us are really excited for the opportunity that we have, and we're all working our butts off every single day and every time we're out there competing, and we're just super excited to get going here with the group that we have and the younger group that's going to need to help us out this year too, whether it's injuries or doubleheaders or whatever it may be. But the guys who don't make the rotation, we're going to need all of them. So there's a big group of starters here, and we're all pretty good.
You know, Mitch, we had a chance to talk to Todd Frazier, entertaining guy, funny guy. Brief time for you playing with him as your teammate. What's he been like?
Oh, he's awesome. He's keeping it loose after that big inning we just had. I mean, he's coming in the dugout, keeping the energy up and just keeping us lively in there. And he just likes to have a good time. And I think that's just his personality is really good for all of us young guys, just to see how the game's done and how to be free out there and play like we can.
You know, we heard him giving you encouragement when you had a guy on early. The guy hit the double to start off the inning, and then you work your way out of it. You give up the run, but you get out of it. The inning doesn't spiral out of control by any stretch. How can a guy like that help kind of cool things off a little bit for younger guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's been there. He's seen a lot of baseball and knows how it goes. So just kind words of encouragement out there. I mean, calms you down as a pitcher and calms everyone down as a team. And just got to think about it one pitch at a time. And Keith Bryant made a really nice play there in the first to help me out with that double play. And then just another ground ball there got me out of it. So, yeah, just Todd's awesome. Just the encouragement that he gives us all. And he's a great guy off the field as well.
You know, Mitch, we have a couple weeks left in spring training. We may get the chance to talk to you. We may not. If we don't, what do you hope to gain between now and opening day?
I'm just progressing. Like I said, the 1, 2, 3 innings, hopefully get up to 4, get up to 5 before the season gets rolling here. And then those last few starts, just really not thinking about anything we're working on and just going out and competing and just really getting ready in that compete mode and finding fastball, slider, whatever it may be, just to perfect things up and get them crisp for the season.
Hey, Mitch, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, there it is, starter Mitch Keller. We come back. We've got more Buccos and Orioles, middle of the 4th inning on AT&T.
Get your popcorn. Yeah, right here. Fans enjoying the game in Bradenton. 5-4, the Orioles have the lead. As we go to the last of the 4th, you can download the MLB app. That gets you in-game video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and a whole lot more for your Pirates and the rest of the league. Download the MLB app. It's the #1 app for live baseball. This is the #1 place to be. Great to have all the folks. There's some folks coming down around the area here. Trying to get some of the rays in here today. Some cloud cover, not bad though. Warm temperatures. This guy has been, with respect to Todd Frazier joining us on the mic, this guy's been the star today. 2-run opposite field home run. Great diving catch in left center. He's 4 for 10 in limited action. Pirates have worked him in slowly after he had that broken elbow ending his season last year. So just trying to get him back and acclimated. Facing Jorge Lopez. And Alford at it again. Going to put on a slide, a double. 2 extra base hits for Anthony Alford.
And showing off the good speed there as well. Lopez, the right-handed pitcher, boy, he's quick to the plate. And I think that could cause some problems maybe with timing. So, you know, Alford catches this late and just finds that hole in between the first base bag and the first baseman. The right fielder does a nice job getting over there and getting to it quickly, but Alford way too much speed, easily into second.
So man in scoring position. Could score on a base hit even with nobody out, depending on where it's hit. And Derek Shelton, Donnie Kelly there on the left of your screen. Pirates Brain Trust. And when camp starts, right there, they got an idea of what they want to have happen. It doesn't always go that way. There's injuries, there's overperformance and underperformance, but for the most part, they kind of stick with the plan. But you can make your way on or off the club still, I would think, right?
I would think so. I mean, most times you come to spring training that, you know, managers, staff front office, they know who they want on the team. They have a pretty good idea who they're taking north. There might be a few areas where there's competition.
Bouncer for Susak. Who was that mustachioed man? Pirates DH is out.
A nice little read by Alford there. He saw that third baseman vacated, even though the shortstop made the play. Nobody's at third base, so that being the first out, move up to 90 feet.
And that's big with one out now. Fly ball can get the tying run across. Well, let's see. Is that a young John Wayner? Is that?
Nah, not seeing it.
Need those big glasses like you had in that one baseball card. The one you said that was the one day you were in Carolina, right? For that, that was like the one day you wore glasses in the ballpark.
The only day I've ever worn glasses
in your life, and that's baseball card day.
Yep. And like a dummy, I didn't take them off, so I get made fun of every time anybody sees it.
It was like the 1990,
yeah,
5-inch glasses.
It was like I had, there was like 2 ashtrays over my eyes. That's how big they were.
Hopefully weren't as thick. Infield comes up for Baltimore. Adam Frazier trying to knock in Alford to tie it up. 94 from Lopez.
Yeah, and it's playing up at 94. You can see it's getting on the guys. Could be the delivery.
He was a big time prospect in the Brewers system for a lot of years and surfaced in Kansas City. Took a perfect game into the 9th inning with him one evening. Frazier did not go.
And again, that's another indication. I think when you see Frazier offering at that pitch in the dirt, don't see Frazier swinging too many pitches in the dirt. The deception of the fastball has sped up his swing a little bit. That's why the hand started. He was able to check it, obviously.
And kind of shaking his head. I wonder too, after facing Felix Hernandez, now you're facing a guy throwing 8 miles per hour harder with a fastball. But this is more of what they're accustomed to. Good eye.
Yeah, just off.
I like that Todd Frazier called him his son.
Yeah.
Same name. Not even his little brother. Full count on Adam.
He's the Todd father.
Yes. And wow, takes a couple close pitches on 2-2, 3-2, works a walk. Bucks on the pod for Key Brian Hayes.
Key Brian Hayes.
Is this the time he's going to get the double? Because every game he hits a double. Leads the Grapefruit League.
Yep. There wasn't many times last year he was 0 for 2.
I think he started his career 0 for 2, and then when he came after the rain delay and hit a home run.
Yep.
And then he got another hit. En route to one of the finest first months in the history of baseball. Now, let's see what he does the next 15 years. Feels very much, though, like last year, the way that he's hit this spring. To the backstop. Here comes Alford in standing. And Frazier moves up as well. That's a wild pitch.
I don't know how it missed Key Brian Hayes. It looked like it went through him. Fastball. I think it was headed towards his ribs, but Key Brian does a good job of dodging it. Anthony Alford does a good job of reading it. With his good speed, easily cross home.
tied up now. Hayes swings through 96. Now foul tip. Lopez looks like a nice find for the Orioles. And then with the breaking ball, a hard curveball. Strikeout Hayes looking.
The left fielder, number 10, Ryan Reynolds.
Waiver claim from the Royals toward the tail end of last year. Lopez trying to be in the Orioles rotation this year.
Yeah, that's a good breaking ball right there. Inner third of the plate. Even above that front knee.
Even Severino couldn't. I'm sure if he had that over again, knew where it was going to be. He'd cradle it differently. That just shows you how much movement was on it. Starts Reynolds off with that curve. That's a tough spot, being the catcher. They make it look so easy back there.
The subtle movements. Again, he's set up on the outer half and ends up on the inner half, and he just subtly gets his body moved over to the left, tries to catch it in front of him.
Make it look good for the umpire. Real art to it. Shelty talks about how that's even more important for a catcher these days than the arm, because we don't see that many stolen base attempts. But you certainly see a lot of borderline pitches throughout a game.
And you wonder if that's going to change. I mean, when we start getting robots calling balls.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Just throw into a mattress.
Yeah, you just want a catcher that can knock it down at that point.
Yeah, the game continues to evolve.
They want catchers that can knock it down, call a game, and hit the ball at the ballpark.
Yeah. Reynolds a solid single to center his last time up. This time out toward left. Mountcastle on the track. Just enough room. Pirates get the equalizer. Alford doing it all today, scoring the 5th run. Tonight, the Penguins look to make it 4 wins in a row as they take on the Buffalo Sabres. And our coverage starts at 6:30 with Pirates pregame right here on AT&T Sportsnet. I was reading that Jari's going to be in there tonight. Penguins pregame at 6:30. Puck drops at 7. Pens have been on a roll. Boy, he's been standing on his head, hasn't he, Jari?
Yep. It's nice to see them string some wins together.
Yeah, bucks and pucks for you today. Got Will Crow back for a 2nd inning. Coming up, we're going to have Donnie Kelly next inning. Pirates bench coach. And I've got to assume Penguin fan.
You would think.
Yeah, I would think. Yolmer Sanchez will start for Crow. What was Steve's line? A person of interest, right? He would say.
Yeah.
Right. For Crow would be in that book, I would think. Right. This spring training, new to the organization, a guy who might factor in and make some starts this year.
You would think.
He made 3 last year with the Nationals, always as a doubleheader addition. Could be more than that for the Pirates this year. Freezing Sanchez on the inner edge.
Yeah, a little backward pitching right there. Starting out soft, finishing hard. Curveballs, change-ups, gets the 2 strikes and buzzes one right on the inside corner.
Using the fastball as the finisher. That time starting off Mountcastle with 94. So it's in there. The fastball he'll usually work at 91, 92, but once in a while dial it up. But he's looking to actually throw the fastball less this year since he's come over. He's talked about wanting to throw his slider more often. He also has a changeup with some sinking action to it, using that a little bit more. And then, just as you detailed, maybe try to catch the hitters off guard a little bit with the fastball, because it got hit pretty well in AAA and in the big leagues.
Yeah, I think if you have a fastball that they're getting good swings on, you got to use it differently. You can't rely on it when you're behind the count or to get ahead in the count.
Skied to left center. Reynolds says, "I got it," and he's right. 2 up and 2 down. The minimum faced for Crow. 5 up. He's out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Got his college ball at South Carolina. Now Severino, a couple of ground outs. I would think too, teams aren't going to have, and they never do these days, 5, 6 starters, 7 starters. You might see 12 teams use 12 different starters, 15 different starters this year by design. With coming off of that 60-game season.
That's why you threw
I think I looked it up last night. 2 years ago, a total of 61 pitchers qualified for the ERA. And so then you go, so we're not seeing massive innings pitched anymore. Last year, obviously, shortened season, 60 games, so now significantly reduced the workload. And so it'll be interesting to see how many can get to that threshold this year. How many gets to 162 even? I think the veterans, the horses will probably get there, but I bet it's half the 61.
I agree.
So obviously you're going to need your pitching depth. You're going to need to, have 8, 10, 12 starters throughout the career. I'm assuming.
Ben Cherington's even said so with the Pirates, but I think even the more established teams are going to give those horses a day here or there, or squeeze in a 6th guy once in a while as we move along.
Good game.
So that's going to be an interesting strategy to see.
Yeah.
Did he have it? Almost too good.
Well, pretty good. How you take that with 2 strikes?
Oh Lord.
Out to left, and Reynolds.
Move your feet, please. Move your feet.
Wraps it up. Another quick inning for Will Crow. We'll chat with Pirates bench coach Donnie Kelly coming up. 5-5, last of 5 coming up here from Bradenton. And the Pirates committed to implementing health and safety protocols to welcome fans back safely all season long. And in addition to adhering to public health officials, fans can expect social distancing and masks, continuous sanitizing throughout the park, no-touch digital ticketing, and a whole lot more features for you to keep you safe. Check out the Pirates 2021 schedule at pirates.com. Pirates also letting us know that they'll issue the tickets in a month-by-month basis for this season. Let's check in with the bench coach, Donnie Kelly, joining us. Joe and Rock with you. Good to see you, talk to you. Thanks for coming on with us.
Absolutely. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, Donnie. Thanks. This has got to be fun for you because the Pirates have been playing some good ball. It looks like in the batting practices and the infield that I've been watching, everyone's having a good time, and that's got to make you feel good, I would think.
It really does. We've been playing well, and I mean, just go back to last inning. Anthony crushes the ball down the line, gets a double, goes over to third on a great read, scores on a wild pitch. Just a lot of fun. The guys are having a blast. We're having a blast, and can't beat this weather down here in Bradenton.
It is beautiful, Donnie. Your second year, obviously, as the Pirates bench coach. Last year, obviously, so strange with COVID and the shortened camp. But your first as a bench coach this year. How different is it for you?
You know what, it has been different with the protocols and still the things that are going on. Just trying to keep everybody healthy and safe and spread out. It's a little bit different as far as the workday goes, spreading groups out as far as coming into the park and getting their work in. But the guys have been tremendous. There's been a lot of moving parts with different times to come into the ballpark and whatnot, but they've been great and really, like we were talking about before, having fun doing it.
Your workload?
Jeez.
Evans up and in. I know it's a difficult job. I don't think anybody has any idea how hard it is for a bench coach to coordinate all of this. And I know you had off Monday, or did you? Did you have Monday off?
Yeah, we did. We did, and
you didn't have to work?
No. Well, you know what?
No, you.
I had Monday off. I did have to work in the morning, just get the schedule out for Tuesday. But you know what? I think that even as a player, you don't really. Gene Lamont is at the game today, scouting, and he was my bench coach for a while, and just appreciate doing it myself now to really appreciate what he did for us.
That's really neat. I didn't know he was here today, too. I wanted to ask you, I was watching the Reds game yesterday, and Alan Zinter's their hitting coach. And he was talking about trying to put the ball on that team, put the ball on the ground more because they were kind of a home run or nothing type offense. Do the Pirates, because they put the ball in play a lot, is that, do you think, going to be of benefit to the Pirates, kind of ahead of the curve a little bit throughout baseball?
Yeah, we have good at bats. We do have guys that make contact, and I think that it's such a tough game to play. You're going up there just trying to square the ball up. Really, you can't go up there trying to hit it in the air, hit it on the ground. It's a hard thing to do anyway, and really just having a good approach when you're up there and putting a good swing on it.
So much nowadays, we're talking about shifting all the times. We're seeing every team do it, and the different alignments. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just early in camp. Are we seeing less shifting this year?
You know what? Not so much less. I don't think it's really it's early and just trying to get a read on guys and see how guys are swinging the bat and doing well.
Donnie, I got to ask you, so who is more Pittsburgh, you, David Bednar, or John Wehner?
That's a good question. We were getting Bednar is doing a heck of a job for us, isn't he? I don't know. Rock, what do you think? That's a really good question.
You guys aren't from Pittsburgh. It's simple. You guys aren't from Pittsburgh. It's the same with Sean Casey and Neil Walker. You guys aren't from Pittsburgh. You guys are out from the country clubs. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're from Mount Lebanon.
You need to. Yeah. Thanks, man.
There's your winner.
Thank you. Hey, Rock, you gotta say Yins aren't from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know who Yins are, where Yins are from. I've never been out that way. Mount Lebanon, we used to always be jealous of you Mount Lebanon kids. You guys had grass on your baseball fields and that.
Yeah, that's good.
Rock's our winner. I'll be the judge. It's going. And he's
ball four.
Trying to steal.
Hey, Donnie, yeah.
Ball four,
yeah,
thanks.
Ball four.
At least you're watching.
Donnie,
trying to. I got
talk to him baseball. Talks about what a good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if you guys saw these guys are taking care of me. Messes putting sunscreen on me and get my hands sanitized, and we got a great staff. They're all over it, always taking care of me, and trying to make sure I'm in good shape here. But no, Rock, what were you saying?
Yep. Well, everybody in baseball will say what a great guy you are, energetic, talkative. Very well liked throughout the game, very well respected. We had Todd Frazier on earlier, as I'm sure you knew, and I'm wondering who's friendlier, who talks more. I mean, this got to be pretty close between you and Todd Frazier.
Dude, talk about having a very great personality on the club, and just watching him have that at bat. I don't think I could do what Todd Frazier just did. I mean, obviously I wouldn't I couldn't hit like Todd Frazier, but to be able to do what he did, have that at bat and hit a double, get an RBI, that was unbelievable.
Center fielder, number 6, Anthony Alford.
He was talking throughout the whole at bat. He was telling us what he's looking for. It was great.
That's awesome.
Rock asked him after taking that 2-0 fastball if he's mad at himself.
Yeah, at 2-0 he takes a fastball center cut. I'm like, are you mad at yourself? He goes, no, looking away. And then he goes out and crushes a curveball down the line. It was awesome.
That was awesome. We couldn't hear what he was saying, but we could tell that there was definitely conversation going on. That was really cool, and that was even on defense. That was really neat.
Donnie, you got to tell us about Anthony Alford. What a day he's having today, but he's got a real shot at center field, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, you saw the play made in left center there, the ball he hit down the line. I mean, not even mentioning the whole opposite field home run. But, you know, and it's like we were talking about earlier, the read that he got on second base. Those are the little things that baseball players do, and that's what he does, putting himself in position to get to third with one out. And you can see the speed and the way he almost threw that guy out too in the oh, that was close. Almost threw that guy out in the first inning. He's had a heck of a day.
Yeah, well, we're better off having talked to you. Donnie, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
See you, Donnie.
See you, Rock.
Donnie Kelly, the Pirates bench coach, joining us here in this fun ball game, 5-5. 5-5 ball game, the 6th coming up. Our sincere thanks to Donnie Kelly for joining us. Let's check in on our Sheely's scouting report. Nick Gonzalez in the game at second base. He was the Pirates' first round pick last year. And Pirates prospect rank with Key Brian Hayes graduating soon. It's going to be Gonzalez atop that. New Mexico State, 399 career hitter with a 1,200 some OPS. And you know, it's going to be fun to have a minor league season to see what he can do at the plate. Here in spring training, he hasn't swung a bat since for a year, you know, basically, except for in the alternate training site last year. Kind of hard to put him up against some of these you know, more veteran pitchers right now and get a gauge on him, but he'll be one of the pillars of the Pirates' success if he matures the way the Pirates think he does.
Oh, no question. Just about everybody I've ever talked to that saw him play in college said that he was the best hitter in the draft. So expecting big things. It's not just hitting for average, it's hitting for power, short, compact swing, bat speed. And it is, I can't imagine what it would be like. He certainly faced top-notch pitching in college. Not as consistently as he's seeing it here. Starting, I don't care what round you're drafted in or if you come out of high school or college, you start playing in the minor leagues. It's hard to hit. I mean, it's an adjustment. I don't care where you came from. It's going to be difficult. And so, yeah, it's to come in your first full year in pro ball and be in major league camp and face a lot of times major league pitching or guys that are very close to pitching in the major league. Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
And he was a shortstop and a few better for the Pirates than Jack Wilson. And those two got to work together in Wilson's home in California for 4 days back in February. Jack Wilson said he's going to be a phenomenal defender. This guy has a chance to be an impact player in the next year and a half. An impact player in the next year and a half. He hasn't even played a pro game yet. That's from Jack Wilson on Nick Gonzalez.
No. Jack's still showing off.
He's got to be 42, probably, something like that.
Yeah, he's up there.
Nothing wrong with that. Out to Will Craig and right, and it'll die out there. Second out, Will Crow doing a number on the Orioles today. Look at that. You better make sure that works in a game. That's fancy. But he'll play a lot more second base probably with the Pirates.
Right. Yeah, I read an article where you know, Jack was quoted as saying that he has to be flashier. And Nick was, well, I'm old school. I'm old school. And I'm like, come on, Jack.
Yeah.
Let him be old school. What do you mean flashier?
He said he's such a hard worker, and those guys end up giving themselves a best chance. you know, and you think, well, every player is a hard worker. Well, it's just human nature. Not everybody is an extremely hard worker. I would think that gives you the best chance of success. Doesn't guarantee anything, but usually the cream rises to the top.
Well, there aren't very many guys playing pro ball or Major League Baseball that aren't hard workers. Everybody works hard. You don't get here without working hard. I think this day and age, it's become a year-round job.
No, that's true. We had a strikeout for Will Crow. Coming up with 3 strikeouts in 3 scoreless innings. He faced the minimum. Got to get that picture just right. Look at that. Fantastic photography. You got to get the stadium in there. Okay, you got it. I want the palm tree.
I just took a selfie like that the other day, laying on the ground.
Where were you? Hopefully not in a road.
Just jokes.
Oh. First of all, you taking a selfie, I think would, yeah, that was already pretty unbelievable. Here's the mustachioed Andrew Susac. That's formidable right there. That's got some growth in there. Kind of looks like Dan Quisenberry.
I think if you shortened up the stash, you know, I didn't have the stash coming down over the bottom lip, but you know, I had the stash working there until mid-90s.
Yours was a legitimate mustache. Or, Bob's was just kind of, you know, because I have
30.
to. Yeah.
30. That's the best way you can. Just look dirty.
You just wipe it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Susac pulls off. Well, our crew says it's a similarity. I think the best similarity, though, that has been discovered this spring was by you with David Bednar and Matt Capps.
Yeah.
When you said that, it boggled my mind how I didn't come up with that. I say, what the gosh, they have the kind of same motion, a little bit similar physique. Matt Capps will be working with us this year. Kevin Young, Michael McHenry.
Coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. Actually. I think maybe next week, end of next week. Looking forward to one of those guys join us. Gonzalez swings through it. Jorge Lopez begins his 3rd inning. Felix Hernandez started today, gave up 4 runs in 2 2/3. Offered the lone hit against Lopez, who has back-to-back strikeouts.
Number 69.
So 2 up and 2 down, and Key Brian Hayes will be lifted. One of the guys that has opened our eyes at the plate. Talk about some ability. Troy Stokes Jr. Power and can run. Definitely see why he was a high pick with the Brewers. I bet you these guys came up together, actually. Come to think of it, in the Milwaukee chain. You probably know one another from their days.
There goes that sneaky fastball again. Yeah, I talked about Nick Gonzalez and the adjustments and how difficult it's going to be to hit just from the draft to Major League camp. Even these guys that didn't play last year. I mean, it's going to take them a little more time than it would a normal spring training.
And the guys that probably weren't penciled in to be part of the 26-man roster. Stokes not on the roster, on his outside, on the outside looking in, at least to start the season on the big league roster. They're not going to get as many at bats.
Yeah.
So that also makes it more challenging. He's 3 for 9. Home run and a double. An outfielder. We'll watch him run. Bannon has an easy play. And Lopez retires the side in order. Oh, okay. All right. And better.
Oh, yeah. Nice tooth.
And Sheely's. Our pitching change brought to you by Sheely's Furniture, Appliances, and Mattresses. As the regulars are through for the afternoon. Reynolds and Gonzalez with hits today. There's Susak behind the plate. Moved from the DH spot. And our first look at Roansy Contreras, who has not pitched in Pirates spring training yet, or for the Pirates at all, for that matter.
Pretty good year in A-ball back in 19. 3.33 ERA, picking up 12 wins. Man, out of the gate, 97.
Ooh. No rust. And let's go down to Robbie.
Yeah, guys, solid day at the office for Anthony Alford today. A homer, a double, and a fantastic diving catch in center field as we get the ground out for out number 1 for the Buccos. We're going to have a couple questions here with Anthony real quick. Anthony, when you have days like today, what does that do for your confidence here in spring training as you battle for a spot in the outfield?
Oh, obviously that's a good thing. Just show the staff what I can do, and also like you said, just help build that confidence going into the season.
You know, Anthony, you had a good chance here to restart in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, the injury happens. You were playing pretty well at the time in a limited snapshot. How much was that tough to take, and what was it like overcoming that injury that you suffered running into the wall last year?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough pill to swallow, because that was an opportunity I've been looking for my whole career, was to, just even if I wasn't starting every day in the outfield, with just getting out there and having consistent at-bats, playing every game, getting in the game somehow. Yeah, just overcoming. It was more emotional for me than anything, because I felt like I was in a good place, a fresh start. But yeah, just going into the off season, it was definitely tough because I couldn't do my normal off season routine, which, I mean, now I look back, I kind of look at it. I ain't gonna say it was a blessing in disguise that I got hurt, but it was also a way for me to kind of regroup mentally and approach the off season different. Yeah, it's definitely been a battle.
So, Anthony, you're having a good spring training here in 2021. What was that process like, overcoming the injury and then putting yourself in position to have days like you had today?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's still early, like we still have a lot of baseball in 2021. Just continue to just try to get better in every aspect of the game. Really just, I mean, I just want to commit to the process of just getting better, whether it's at the plate or in the outfield on the base pass. Try to learn something every day and just, continue to build on my strengths. I mean, continue to build on my strengths and strengthen my weaknesses at the same time.
Anthony, people may not realize you were a Division I college football quarterback and defensive back at Southern Miss and Ole Miss. What skills did you take from the football field that might be able to benefit you on the baseball field?
Really, just that mental toughness, that grind, and learning to just overcome adversity. And I honestly think baseball is harder. It's a harder sport mentally, obviously, because of all the failure. But I think just the stuff that I was able to do on the football field and the drills and the workouts and stuff, it just helped me continue to just build on my athleticism and made me become a better athlete.
You had a tough choice, and you opted to pursue a career on the baseball field after being drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays pretty high. What was that process like? If you could take us back deciding, am I going to try to play pro football or pro baseball?
Yeah, that was at a time that 2014 season, I coming out of high school, I said I wanted to play both for 3 years and then make a decision after that, commit to one after 3 years coming out of high school. And that 3 years was up, and football didn't look like the way for me. It was taking a toll on my body because I was playing baseball in the summertime with the Blue Jays and playing football in the fall and the spring at Ole Miss. So I never really had an off season. So it was definitely a time to decide. But I just think the longevity of baseball was definitely it looked better for me. And no matter how it turned out, I just felt like I was going to be able to play this game longer than I would football.
What's harder, getting hit by a defensive lineman or getting hit with a 95-mile-an-hour pitch?
Oh, definitely, definitely a 95-mile-an-hour pitch. You go through a football locker room and you hear a lot of the football players. You see these 6'7" offensive linemen and these big linebackers and running backs. They say, "Man, I'm scared. I'm scared to get hit by a baseball." Like that's why they never played the game of baseball. They said I tried it and I got hit one time and I quit. But it's like baseball is like people underestimate how tough you have to be to play the game of baseball. Just like you say, like you get hit with 95 in the back or in the ribs, like that'll make a grown man cry.
Certainly it will. Last thing, Anthony, before we let you go, you have a previous relationship with Ben Cherington. He had a lot of nice things to say about you when he got you here. How do you describe this opportunity and how do you describe your relationship with Ben?
Yeah, it's definitely a good relationship. When we was over at Toronto, a lot of the conversations that me and Ben had, it wasn't necessarily about just the game of baseball. You know, I just felt like he cared about me as a person, and I really admire that. And I obviously think a lot of him, but at the same time, like it's a business, and everybody here have a job to do, and everybody's gonna do what's best for the organization. And but I'm definitely excited to be here and have this opportunity.
Well, Anthony, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here this afternoon, and best wishes here the remainder of camp. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Joe and Rock, there it is. Anthony Alford, what a day at the office it was for him. Homer, double, fantastic catch. And, yeah, Rock, a lot harder to get hit by a baseball than by a defensive lineman.
I like that, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel good to get hit by a baseball, but I can't imagine it feeling too good to get hit by a linebacker either. I mean, and you're only going to get hit with a baseball, you know, maybe once a week. That's a lot. That's probably once or twice a month. You're getting hit with linebackers several times a game.
If your line's any good, maybe a little less than that. But no, I think that's fantastic. But what a show Alford put on today. The home run, the double, the great catch in left center. And that's the hope. You look at this season and that some of these guys that the Pirates are thinking about that have maybe brought in for little to no cost, waiver claim, minor trade. Some of these guys could blossom into real players and real pieces. And then one of the guys that they got in the Jameson Tyone trade is pitching right now, Roansy Contreras. And he's got quite an arm on him.
Yes, he does. We saw 898. He's been consistently 96 or better. Big hook.
And he struck out Jahmai Jones looking on that curveball. You could hear from the Pirate bench, "What a hammer." First look at him. And it'll be Bannon in on a stolen base. No throw by Susac. And a full count on Mason McCoy. That 2-out walk, now in scoring position. Yeah, Contreras has not pitched above A ball, so we'll see where he ends up sliding in, but you can see his potential right now. And he struck him out. Went with the heat. And a couple of strikeouts for Contreras in his Pirates debut. Time to stretch. Oh, knotted up.
Tasha, did you?
Talking. I like to talk, so calms me down a little bit, so it'll be good. What's up, Bob? I'm mic'd up right now. I did it for you, baby. You can tell me what's coming. I won't be mad. There it is. I got the pitch. I felt comfortable as anybody. Felt like my trout up there, to be honest with you. You guys are the best.
Todd Frazier joined us to start the ball game. He was mic'd up earlier. What a treat that was. Just like a kid playing the game out there, having fun, full of joy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Gave us a lot of good insight, too, on what he's seeing with this club. And just having some fun out there. Like we all are, either watching or folks here at the game today. Family enjoyment. Well, it's great to have folks in the seats. So glad to have you with us. So we had some warmer weather back home. Spring baseball always sure tail sign that it's coming. Yeah, just enjoying the weather. If you're from here, you're used to it. Always a treat for us to come down here, and I'm glad we had that opportunity this year.
Good seeing you, brother. Good seeing you.
This is Evan Phillips to work to Rodolfo Castro to start the Pirates' 7th inning. Some early scoring. I think that horn messed up Castro's swing. Something, big truck on 9th Street.
Usually when you're in the box, you don't hear a thing. Believe it or not.
And a strikeout to start for Evan Phillips.
The right fielder, number 35, Will Craig.
Here's Will Craig. I felt so bad for Will Craig the other day. The Pirates were playing in Northport against the Braves, and they were a strike away from a spring training no-hitter. And the wind was blowing like crazy. And Craig is a first baseman by trade, but he's working out in right field. The Pirates want to see if he can play the outfield a little bit. And sure enough, the ball gets knocked down by 20 or 30 feet more than it probably would have. It just, he thought he had a beat on it, and it fell 15 feet in front of him.
Oh, no.
With two outs and 2 strikes. Lazy fly ball, but I'm giving him credit. I mean, it knocked it down. And, you know, not being an outfielder and not used to Florida wind gusts, it ends up being a base hit, and they lose their novel no-hitter in spring training. Or Will Craig out there.
Well, nobody's going to remember that.
No.
That's a good thing. Do it in the regular season, nobody will forget it.
Yeah. Pirate first rounder taken off the roster in the offseason. Opportunity to try to curry favor with Pirates management again. Now he's 3 years removed from a year between Double-A and the Arizona Fall League where he knocked in 120 runs. Then at Triple-A in 19. An okay performance at the plate. But so much is unknown after no competition last year. That'll be a fun matchup. Out to left. And Nevin watches this one get out of here. Home run for Will Craig. He's got that power. And the Pirates back on top. That's got to feel good for Will Craig.
No doubt. You like to see him sitting fastball in that count 3-2. Getting fastball and getting the barrel out. And he does have power, and we've seen it here before. Some balls jump off his bat.
Got a souvenir out there. 23 home runs for Craig in the last minor league season in 19. Got his first of the spring. Pirates have the lead. Here's Evans, Phillip.
And again, 3-2, looking dead red. Fastball. It's actually not as, I thought that was more middle. That was outer half. About thigh high.
That was nice. So Evan Phillips to Phillip Evans after the Craig home run. We saw this matchup last week. Just gives you a little giggle. And Phillip Evans wins this battle. Hard base hit to left.
Pitch hitting for Stallings, number 73, Arden Paps.
Got a hanging breaking ball. Did Phillip Evans. Actually, it wasn't a breaking ball. Something off speed. It was hanging. 84 miles per hour. If that was a breaking ball, it didn't break. Maybe a changeup, split.
And Mason Martin will pinch run. This is Arden Pabst to get his first at bat in spring training. I was thinking about Pabst and Christian Kelly, the Jason DeLay. The Pirates have some extra catchers in camp that are working with pitchers, of course, when they throw bullpens or do some side work. But they have not gotten to appear in these games because, as Derek Shelton has talked about, the shortened games have made catchers at bats and innings behind the plate at a premium. So there haven't been those filler innings, so to speak, for the depth guys, catchers. Usually get some action.
As far as lookalikes go, he got a little Adam Heisdu look to him. I don't know if you remember Adam Heisdu or not.
He was a great minor league hitter, wasn't he?
Mayor of Altoona.
Yeah.
Played early 2000s here in Pittsburgh. Kind of see it in the face a little bit in the stance.
Out of Georgia Tech. Harvard Westlake High School. Oscar Marine was actually the pitching coordinator there when Pabst was a freshman.
Mason Martin was pitch running at first.
Which is pretty crazy. We talk about how baseball through the years. Oh, we were high school teammates or friends growing up, and now we're on the same team. And a liner there is a hit for Pabst. Martin heading to third. He's going to be waved. And Martin's going to score. It's an RBI double for Pabst. How about you don't get an at bat all spring and you rocket that double right down the line. Nice job, Arden Pabst.
Something that just stayed in. Looked like a similar pitch to what Phillip Evans hit in the left. Just kind of stayed on the inner third of the plate. Alligator armed it down the line. A little trouble out there in left field. Kicks away, and that allows Mason Martin to race around, scoring easily.
And Chris Holt, the pitching coach, out to chat with Nick Schufo, the new Orioles catcher. And there's Pabst. No relation to the beer magnet, by the way.
No.
I asked him a couple years ago on that. Three days shy of his 26th birthday. Here's Ji-Hwan Bae. Fast and smooth shortstop. Been fun to watch him get some extended work. He's also been another beneficiary of Tucker and now Newman being sidelined. Slapped on to first, advancing Pabst with 2 outs.
The center fielder, number 75, Travis Swagger.
Pirates with a pair here in the 7th have minted the lead. Here's Swaggy T, Travis Swaggerty. Fine center fielder who has played as high as high A ball a couple of years back. Bradenton is now going to be the low A affiliate, and Greensboro will be the high A affiliate for the Pirates going forward. So there are situations where maybe guys that played at Greensboro, as Crick will probably be next, they might repeat Greensboro, but they're actually being promoted.
Yeah. You know why that it makes a little bit of sense.
Makes a lot of sense, I think.
In the regard that usually the low A team guys graduate from Pirate City to the low A team. They're not going to skip Greensboro, or if they start out in Gulf Coast League. So yeah, saves on travel.
Yeah, they stay right here. You can monitor them, and then turn them loose.
Yeah,
out into a different area.
If you get demoted, you don't have to pack.
Right there. I think a lot of the reorganization of the minor leagues makes a lot of sense. They tried to make shorter bus rides, which from 9 years calling games in the minors, I would appreciate that. Swaggerty with a strikeout. Pirates plate 2. Pabst and the home run by Craig. A despondent Orioles fan laments the Pirates' newly minted lead. 7-5 as we start the 8th inning. Hey, you can stay connected to your Pirates. Make sure you follow the Pirates on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat for exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. Become a Pirates Insider. Sign up to receive Pirates emails. You find out about ticket pre-sales, breaking news and activities, offers, and a whole lot more. Pirates.com/connect. Well, the fans have had their fill today. We have not. Excited to bring you the final couple. This one's scheduled to go 9 innings today. Very fun to watch Roansy Contreras pitch for the Pirates in his first inning. Big live arm. Kyle Crick is on. Oh, sorry, Ron.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
That's why I was stunned.
Yeah. Understandable.
Happens every year. Tyler Nevin will lead it off against Crick. I think the thing we are looking for with Kyle is the MPH, right? In part.
Well, yeah. We saw 94 the other day, averaging probably around 92, but his first spring training here in Pittsburgh after the trade, he was throwing 89, 90. So obviously it was alarming to see him in the major leagues last year with the velocity being so much lower. But for whatever reason, yeah, he was. I remember his first camp, and it was 90. It wasn't mid-90s, that's for sure.
Oh, it's a throwback, right? A lot of guys wouldn't start throwing. I mean, not to say that he doesn't do that. He does throw, but a lot of guys would start throwing in spring training, and you wouldn't see their best stuff until toward the end of spring training.
Yeah, I mean, you just like to see that he's healthy, and like to see him pounding the strike zone.
Phil's kid fouls it off.
Like to see the fastball. I mean, that may be 5 straight fastballs there. We haven't seen that for a while. You know, he likes to throw that slider, which I would guess he's going to go to here.
Find out. Susak. And the slider out to left. There's Stokes.
The catcher, number 72, Nick Schufall.
So one out. And that fastball 92.5 to 92.8 in that at bat. So that continuing to tick up for Crick. All that matters is where are you at on April 1st? Regular year begins in Chicago. Pirates start the home slate on April 8th at PNC Park with you. Here's Nick Schufall. Gotta pass along a hello to his dad, Tony. I know he's watching down in the Charleston, South Carolina area. Good friend of mine for many, many years. Nick trying to hook on with the Orioles system. Former Rays first rounder. I wonder what the Pirates are going to do for late relief. I think when we talk about position battles, we talk about short and center field. Derek Shelton has not anointed a closer. He says he would prefer to have one. And when he's been cornered on that question by reporters, of course, Richard Rodriguez makes the most sense. But he's also said, Shelty, that you could use a lot of different guys. Whoever makes the most sense in the situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You would think that Richard Rodriguez certainly has, or at least is the favorite, being that he did it a year ago. There's other guys that are certainly capable.
And I think, too, that because of following a 60-game season, there's to be a lot of nights where, let's say the Pirates have a close lead 3 straight nights. You might not use your closer 3 nights in a row.
Yeah, it's rare to see that nowadays.
So you want to have, 3 guys that you really like. Out to Stokes. It'll drop in. Hit for Schufall. One out base runner for Baltimore. Make sure you stick with us, too. We're going to have Mike Ribello. He'll be coming up with us next half inning. The Pirates Major League field coordinator. And tonight, stay on AT&T Sportsnet. Pens and Sabres on a Bucks and Pucks. 6:30 for Penguins pregame tonight. I'll be watching. Rock, you're going to have it on, I'm sure, too.
I'd like
no.
to.
Oh, you'd like to.
I don't think I have it.
You got plans? Oh, you don't have.
I don't think I have that.
I have it down here. I have to give you my login. That's a second out.
What if you get caught sharing that? Are you allowed to share stuff like that?
I don't know. I'm not even saying what I'm sharing. So how could they get me for sharing something if I'm not telling what I'm sharing? I'm just maybe I'm.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, you could share.
Yeah. We'll get you taken care of. Don't worry. It's all legal. I'm paying for it. It's not.
Well, that's good.
Like from Reddit or something.
I've always wondered about that. When you have a subscription, could you just give it to everybody?
I don't do that typically, but for you, I would, because I know how much you're probably missing the games. And I got to have my AT&T Sportsnet no matter where I go.
They're fun to watch. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they are. They're playing great.
I think it's. I miss watching them.
A lot of close games this year for the Pens. And I know it's spring training, and I don't care about wins, but it's been fun to watch the Pirates play better. They've played last spring. And again, spring training doesn't matter in terms of the wins and losses, but they didn't play great. And it was just, at times, it was difficult to kind of get optimistic, but this Pirates team has played better baseball. And they're going to still they got a gap to close, of course, in the division. We know that. But maybe they'll be closer than people think, and we'll speed up the process a
It'll
little
always
bit.
come down to pitching. And,
Yeah.
and again, you look at the pitching has done very well down here so far. And you know, you look at the starters that the Pirates are going to start the season with, all capable of going out there and winning. And we've got good arms in the bullpen to finish games. We have guys in the lineup that have proven that they can hit this level. So, I mean, but I think the pitching is going to be the key, of course. I mean, you can't afford to be giving up 5+ runs a game. You're not going to outslug many teams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you get good pitching, you have a chance. And I think the Pirates have guys that could pitch.
94 from Crick. It's Westberg to strike out. That's 5 straight scoreless from Pirate pitching. Mike Rebello coming up next. Back in sunny Florida, the Pirates with a 2-run advantage. Bottom half of the 8th inning coming your way. We're very pleased to have a special guest with us in a new role. Last year, the assistant hitting coach of the Pirates. Now the Major League Field Coordinator. I like the sound of that. Mike Rebello is on with us. Mike, tell us about your new job. What additional duties, other than keeping Oscar out of the picture to mess with you? What's your new gig like?
I'm kind of like the chaperone for all these coaches, including our manager. As you can see, our Oscar just dumped a lot of water down my neck. I'm freezing right now. But no, it's cool.
You wear it well.
It's cool. Thank you, Mess. I'll put that in the report. Yep, that's going to go in the report when I send it to Ben later. But no, it's neat. I'm trying to concentrate here. But
someone's got to be the adult in the room,
yeah.
and then I guess that's your task, huh?
Yeah, it's like herding cats with these guys. But no, it's neat. I get to help out all the position coaches with our day-to-day activities, with scheduling practices. What are we going to do? What do we need to do? Things of that nature. All aspects, hitting, not so much hitting, but more tactical, defensive play. Thank you. I'm going to tell Ben that's a good job. Good job. Sorry. So yeah, it's neat in the sense that you know, I wear a lot of hats, you know, and at the end of the day, it's what can we do to get the player better. That's what it boils down to. You know, whatever your title is, whatever your job is, whatever you may do, all anybody cares about is what can we do to get these guys better. And I'm very fortunate that I have a helping hand in that.
Well, you missed the hitting side of it. I mean, you've done. I know you've managed and you've done some coaching, obviously, work with the hitters. Are you going to work with them at all?
No,
or are you
no.
You kind of moved from that and. No, you're done.
Yeah. And no, I don't miss it.
I've always said that. Yeah, I've always said that. I think that's the unsung heroes or the hitting coaches. Their work is never done. Whether it's. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, you throw up 13 runs, and there's always somebody that went over. You know that you have to talk them off the ledge, and it's every night, every day, and. You know, I was fortunate enough to do that when I first started coaching, and then last year, and it is without a doubt the most grueling of all the positions. You know, if you're not in the cage, you're watching video. You know, if you're not watching video, you're watching the opposing pitcher. You know, it's very time-consuming, and it's a lot of work on the body with the throwing and a lot of cage work. So they do a great job. Christian is great. Rick's great. And they've really done a good job. You know, we're swinging about. Like I told Rick, I said, "Hey, man, it must."
Talking about Christian Marrero. Yeah.
It must be nice, Rick. I said, "You finally got a hitting guy now with you."
Oh, come on now. But yeah, Christian Marrero, I remember him from Great Falls years ago. He was a great hitter throughout the minor leagues and done some good work and hearing good things from you. I want to know about John Baker. I liked watching him play and reading about some of the things that he was talking about as a player. Now he is, in essence, the Pirates farm director. And how do you guys interact?
So we talk on a daily basis. I was over at Pirate City this morning talking to some of the guys about, hey, this is what's going on. Certain things that come up in the games here. What are we doing? What are we doing to streamline the process of acquiring the skill quicker, and how can we get you guys to the big leagues? And we're trying to make sure that everything is siloed in a sense that whatever is going on here, that the entire minor league department's doing. So there's no surprises. You know, when they get called up and their first game is in San Francisco, you know, there's no surprises. Everybody's on the same page, and the only way that can, you know, is accomplished is through communication on a daily basis with myself, Bake, and Sean Bowman, field coordinator. And you know, so far it's great. You know, every day I report back to them with what our young bucks are doing, and it's working out real well.
Stokes makes the final out. And I want to ask you real quick about the basketball tournament that you have.
Yeah, we got some bad shooters in this camp. Bad shooters. They shoot really well until we got to keep score. So some really bad shot takers. So far the worst, without a doubt, is probably Cody Ponce. He missed both layups. Terrible. So
good team building exercise.
Yeah, what we're going to do the cornhole and the golf.
Mike Rebello joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Pirates 7, Orioles 5. Final inning here as we bring you the ninth. You can rest easy with Pirates Ticket Assurance. The Pirates committed to making sure that you're comfortable with any ticket investment you make this season. All ticket purchases are guaranteed for another game this season or next. You can learn more at pirates.com/assurance. That means that you're taken care of by the Pirates. Clay Holmes on to work the ninth. Now he's another one of these guys that could be, even though he's been with the club for 10 years, a good find if he can throw strikes. His stuff plays. He said it himself. Little soft pop foul.
Oh, his stuff definitely plays. I think, you know, he has a good shot. He looks healthy. I found it interesting that trying to think who we were talking to, one of the catchers, that singled out of all the pitchers and staff Clay Holmes. I can't remember which catcher we was talking to, but he said that, you know, this guy's, you know, the movement, the stuff is.
I think it was Tony Walters,
maybe,
when he was asked, you know, hey, you've caught some new guys. Who do you like? Who, you know? I mean, the sinker and the curveball. I mean, the sinker dances all over the place, which I would imagine would be difficult to control. That's the curveball. But the walks nearly 7 per 9 innings. But the thought was going into last year that he had the mindset finally to really just let it play in the zone, not try to be too fine, not try to hit edges, just try to throw a strike. And maybe it's you see how much that moved, for instance. McKenna, the hitter, might have thought, oh, this is going to be inside, and ends up outside.
And then when you're a hitter and you see stuff like this, even though you took it, you're still like holding your breath, like, my gosh, I can't hit that. I mean, it's intimidating.
And Castro tried to barehand it.
Yeah, and you're in a hitting count, 3-1, and you're saying, well, I got to gear up and get the bat head out, and then you hit a little dribbler.
This is Gunnar Henderson coming up, big-time Orioles prospect. Yeah, and this is a hit, but it's just weak contact.
Yeah.
Hard to square up. Oscar Marine, Pirates pitching coach, with Glenn Sherlock, also one of the Pirates coaches, works with the catchers. Yeah, Holmes is even though he was taken off the roster and then re-signed a minor league deal with the Pirates, he could be an integral part of the Pirates' pen. And just because you know, year after year that has not been the case, originally a starting pitcher, doesn't mean it can't happen now. And you know, he's throwing 95, 96.
And that was like a screwball. I mean, it broke a foot outside like a left-handed slider.
And Henderson, who has played all of 29 professional games in the Gulf Coast League, getting to see this. And he come in with that hammer curveball.
And I think if I'm a younger player, let's just say just out of college or just out of the draft, or an A-ball or whatever, and you get a couple of at-bats in a major league game, and then you face a guy like that, let's just say he's your only at-bat that you get, you have to be thinking like, well, I'll never hit major league pitching if this is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's really incredible stuff if he can harness it. Taylor Davis is going to bat for Jahmai Jones.
I mean, even that, another two-seamer that broke like a left-hander's slider and just easy and effortless at 96.
And Holmes has said he's a thinker. He was the class valedictorian in high school, and you know, he was taught for a lot of years, stop thinking out there. Well, he wants to think. He wants to think about how pressures on his fingers make the ball do certain things, and he wants to calculate everything out there. And so that works better for him. But really, the best thing that works is strikes for any pitcher.
And that almost just the reaction, I could be wrong, but Susak, the catcher, it almost looked like that. Like it's hard. It's not only hard to hit, it's hard to catch.
You can't square it up with the glove either.
No, that late movement, break your thumb.
I mean, you watch the ball. If you've ever played wiffle ball, and you can get the spin, and then the wind goes in those holes and moves it around all crazy. To some degree, that's what the ball does with Holmes out there sometimes. Now 2-2 on Davis.
Nice.
Try the curve.
But yeah, and again, with Clay healthy, and I keep thinking about scouts that are down and around here, and you think about the end of spring training, how hard is it to, you know, if you don't make the team, to get a guy through waivers because everybody's trying to cut down, and so scouts are looking at this stuff thinking, acquire. That they're right now, acquire. The stuff's that good.
You know, the Pirates were able to. That one just misses, just sunk beneath the zone. They were able to get him off the roster, and he wanted to sign with the Pirates because he's always been a Pirate, but he believes in what they're teaching. But when he was not offered arbitration, that set him free. He could have signed with anybody, but Pirates will have the opportunity to either send him to minor league camp or bring him up, but once they do, then they can't send him back down without, in essence, having him available to all the other teams again. He's out of options. So it was kind of an unheralded move. No, 2 on and 1 out after the infield hit, the swing and bunt for McKenna. He's at second. Rylan Bannon. He's down to strike 97. Clay Holmes is 27 years old. This is his 11th season in a Pirate uniform.
Wow.
Drafted out of high school. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that he's hitting his prime now as a player. Second longest tenured Pirate behind Gregory Polanco. These are the kind of guys that the Pirates are trying to collect from other teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've had one right here. Maybe a guy that the team that signed him or drafted him just kind of gives up on him. Say, all right, you've been around long enough. We're done. We're done trying. And you know, the acquiring team says, oh well, there's a lot there. We can work with this. And the Pirates were smart, in my opinion, to say, we can work with this. We're not getting rid of you. Please come back here. Let's do more. Softly tapped. Holmes will get a second out. So up to third, McKenna. Davis will trail him at second. This was 97. Look at that run in on his hands.
Yep. Ate him up. And obviously, the more he pounds the strike zone with that pitch, I think the better off he's going to be. You get ahead, and then you have a big hook becomes more effective.
And right there in the zone, Gonzalez on the first. Holmes gets out of it. With the hit in the walk, the Pirates have taken this one down 7-5 as Holmes will get the save. And the congratulations here as the Pirates playing a complete game, getting some good glove work. And some bats were going today too for Derek Shelton. 7-5, the Pirates win it. Take a break. Get Rock's thoughts when we come back from Bradenton.